the United Nations, making predictions that by 2050, we will be 9.7 billion people. If all these people get educated, get technologically empowered, 9.7 billion people or nearly 10 billion people on this planet is for sure going to be a disaster. Yes. We can make arrangements and arrangements, we can improve the arrangements, we can make more energy-saving machines, we can recycle the shit.
Step aside, skim milk. You're done, almond milk. There might be a new milk coming to town and it's about to crawl right into the dairy aisle at the supermarket. Cockroach milk. Scientists are saying cockroach milk could be one of the most nutritious things you can drink.
I am not a bigot. I am not a science denier. Cockroach milk is so much more sustainable and nutritious than real milk. I am a good global citizen who gets his recommended daily dosage of vitamin TV. The planet is dying because I exist. The good grown-ups on the TV screen are trying to help us solve this #climate crisis by helping us sterilize ourselves and eat sustainable nutrient-fortified vegan kibble so our sick, sad, dying mommy Earth can feel all better. I'm going to ask my wife's boyfriend if it is socially acceptable to consume cockroach milk as an ethical vegan and animal rights activist.
Discovered cockroach milk has 4 times as much protein as cow's milk. 4 times as much.
Yes. We can do all this, no matter what we create, no matter how much we strive, whatever we build, everything is going to be insufficient because the planet is going to be insufficient. I was in a conference and I said, see, unless you reduce the human footprint on the planet, there is no solution for anything. Then they asked me a brilliant question, how do you reduce the human footprint? I said, you have to reduce the number of feet. That's the only way. I'm not saying children are bad, they're wonderful, but it's just too many. We as human beings, we are wonderful, but we are too many. We are so many that the insect population is going down. No, it's not a joke, it's very threatening. If the insect population disappears, the planet will be destroyed. Yes, the worms disappear, the planet will be destroyed. If you and me disappear, planet will flourish. Our life expectancy has improved. This means we have taken death into our hands. When we take death into our hands, it is our business to take birth also into our hands, isn't it?
I feel so empowered on my vegan climate activist hero's journey. We are all one. I am a highly evolved god who evolved from cosmic pond scum. We are all God. I am you and you are me. We're a happy family that needs to save its dying mommy from our toxic exhalations by taking #climate action now with the more evolved good grown-ups at governments, banks, and global corporations to help educate us how to get rid of ourselves and all the toxic extra human baby feet to decrease our atrocious carbon footprints and save the planet and evolution from ourselves because we are all one.
We're standing here, for this is an emergency. We're standing here, for all that we hold dear. We're standing here, for beauty and diversity. And we're standing in the love that binds us all. And we demand our government must tell the truth.
Climate change tops the environmental agenda at present. We all know that every additional person will need to use some carbon energy, if only for firewood for cooking, and will therefore create more carbon dioxide. Similarly, we can all see that every extra person is or will an extra victim of climate change. I meet no one who privately disagrees that population growth is a problem. No one, except flat earthers, can deny that that planet is finite. We can all see it in that beautiful picture from our Earth, taken from the Apollo mission. Every one of these global problems, social as well as environmental, becomes more difficult and ultimately impossible to solve with ever more people. Thank you.
I am so glad the good grown-ups like David Attenborough and Prince Philip, friend of philanthropist Jimmy Savile, and the father of Prince Andrew, close friend of champion of science and philanthropist Jeffrey Epstein, are helping find solutions to all the extra people who need to stop existing. The hashtag climate crisis make me so sad. The totally real death threats from the climate are so scary, and I need the good government grown-ups to fix it and give 16-year-old human shield Greta her future back.
He promoted this on television, and he went around all the agricultural shows, and he had it was a one-man thing, and it had a tremendous effect. It reduced it from 3% to 1%. But one of the things he said to the farmers, he said, look, you don't need all these children, it's ridiculous. You've got to feed them all, clothe them all, educate them all, and look after their health. So have a few, and then if you want to go on entertaining yourself, have a vasectomy. Oh, yes. Well, how do I do that? Well, I'll organize it for you. We'll have buses running into Bangkok on the King's birthday, very auspicious day. And you will go into, and he took over a whole lot of school halls and that sort of thing. And he showed me a photograph of all these beds and everything, and people went in, and I said, but how did they take it? Well, he said they didn't like being seen to have the operation. Oh, I said, really, how do you do that? I've had visions of, putting up. Oh, he said, it's quite simple, I blindfolded them.
I am so glad that Jimmy Savile's royal friend, Prince Philip, is helping all the extra people to not exist anymore.
What vegan birth control method would you recommend?
Vasectomy.
Hell yeah, baby! You heard me, you heard me, you heard him!
Well, get on board. Come on.
Yes, I love this guy.
Why should the women have to take pills? No.
I feel so empowered by the vasectomy I got from Dr. Gregor. We must help governments and media educate more people on the benefits of not having families or property, not eating real meat or animal foods, and living in smart city coffin apartment cubbies.
Don't screw the planet! Don't screw the planet!
The Earth will be so happy and healthy if we eat sustainable nutrient-fortified vegan smart kibble that the good grown-ups at the transnational banks and corporations share with us.
You see, Fred's kids are millennials. They've just surpassed baby boomers to become the largest generation in American history. And they've all been moving back to the cities. But there are only so many houses and cars that can fit in a city. And this is where the sharing economy comes in. We now have these powerful computers, smartphones, in our hands.
I love sharing and do not hate science. The good grown-up champions of science like Jeffrey Epstein and his friends Bill Gates and Prince Andrew know what's best for me and the planet. I can't wait for the nice, happy, healthy corporate global technocratic government to ration and share resources with us. I wish I could help poor 16-year-old human shield Greta Thunberg to find a carbon-neutral ride back to Europe from America so she can meddle in the elections over there and save the planet from the extra people causing the totally real and not made-up hashtag climate crisis.
That led Greta Thunberg to take to social media to call for help. She said, I've traveled around halfway around the world, but in the wrong way. And now she's looking for a way to cross back in the Atlantic by this COP25 summit now in Madrid.
We have tons of time to turn things around. Well, not tons, but enough. Assuming we all act now. Last month, we had an ant problem at my house. is going to sound strange, but I felt somewhat in awe of their teamwork. In fact, fire ants are experts at teamwork. They're pretty tiny, right? But when faced with large challenges like crossing a river, hundreds or thousands of fire ants can work together to build structures out of their own bodies, like rafts. As a result, they can carry the entire colony across the river. Collectively, they do what is necessary to save the entire group. We too can work together.
Rejoice. I've found a solution to Greta's transportation problem that will get her to Europe and help decrease our atrocious carbon footprint that's killing poor mommy Earth and stealing poor little Prince Philip, Greta, and Bill Gates' futures. We must use the extra people's surplus human bodies to make a giant raft that can bring this brave, 16-year-old human shield back to Europe so she can help the good grown-ups at the global banks and corporations create the happy, sustainable, totalitarian world government to fight the #climate crisis that is our fault because we exist. Nature provides the answers and the wisdom of children will guide us on our journey to sustainability on our renewable carbon-neutral giant human corpse raft.
The things humans fear most is that we will be powerful beyond our belief.
I am empowered beyond my belief to take #climate action against myself to save the planet from myself by drinking cockroach milk, eating vegan kibble, putting the pee-pee in the poo-poo, and sterilizing myself. I am not deceived. I am not being programmed to self-destruct by toxic weaponized pop culture. I'm going to ask my wife's boyfriend if this sustainable giant human corpse raft is vegan friendly.
How do you do that? I have visions of, putting up. Oh, he says it's quite simple. I blindfolded them.
Microphone check. Microphone is working. We are live. We're on Rockfin, Bigotville, Rockfin. We got the Rockfin bigots checking in. We got the YouTube bigots and bigettes checking in. What's going on, guys? All right, if you're watching on YouTube right now, we got like 5 minutes. We got about 5 minutes on YouTube, and then we're migrating over to Rockfin, where we can actually talk about these things openly, where we can actually talk about what we want to talk about, where we can actually talk about Klaus Schwab and his Transhumanist World Economic Forum brain modification devices, his brain implants for depression, which is like, I mean, the fact that they published this the other day, I don't know, it's just, it's crazy how out there and out in the open this is now, right? These things that we were telling people about 10, 15 years ago are just right out there in the open now. And they don't even try to hide it, right? The Great Reset will transform humanity, says Klaus Schwab. I mean, literal Bond villain. Dude even dresses like a freaking Bond villain. The World Economic Forum, his group, released this video. Yeah, when was that? The 10th. So it was yesterday. Yesterday, the World Economic Forum on #World Mental Health Day. This new innovation gives hope to people with treatment-resistant depression. Well, thank you so much, World Economic Forum. They're really looking out for all of your mental health, right? Because that's their one priority, right? The World Economic Forum, where I think it's like $500,000 to become a corporate member, $500,000 per year. They're concerned about your mental health, right? I mean, Bill Gates, giving keynote speeches there. Sadhguru, who you saw giving keynote speeches there. Sadhguru, who says, I love children, they are wonderful, but there are too many. You can have a dog. You can have a dog. It is okay, I give you permission, you may have a dog. You may play with your dog. You may eat the kibble in your pee-pee in the poo-poo pod. You can make sure to pay your social credits for your outdoor time that will be rationed to you by global corporate government, because this is good for planet. This is good for planet, this is good for brain, this is good for your well-being. And we will tell you that this is all for you. We do this to help you. We lock you in your home. extended period of time to help you. We displace you from your land because this is green. It is better to have tree than people living near rivers and water sources, which is why Sadhguru come up with multi-billion-dollar scam with Indian government to displace people and plant tree instead. This all good. This for the planet. Sadhguru will tell you that this is good and for the planet because he love you. He also tell you there are too many of you, but they love you. I love people. They are beautiful, but there are far too many. This is the worldview of these people. And of course, they care about our mental health, right? And who gets to define what mental health is? Well, I'm sure we can sort those details out later. Don't worry. Just believe us that this is for your mental health, right? You guys are all just little insignificant automatons, and we treat you as such, right? We treat you like basically toxins for the planet, right? We tell you that your exhalations are bad. We tell you that your children are not only toxic and bad, but are something that need to be masked up. They need to be muzzled. They need to be domineered, and controlled, right? But don't worry, we love you. We care about your mental health, right? Your exhalations are bad for the planet, and if you were never born, the planet would have been better, they tell us. But you're having mental health issues? Oh my goodness! Why don't you go back to your pod, watch Pornhub for a few days, and take your meds, and just wait, because we're gonna have Elon Musk is gonna have his what's it called, Neuralink, and Klaus Schwab is gonna release his DARPA neural lace brain chip integration system, where we can just stimulate your brain and we'll make you happy. We'll make you happy. And we're supposed to believe these people, right? We're supposed to believe that they have our best interest in mind. We're supposed to believe that they love us, that they just care about us, that this is so good for us. This is so good for us. And we just care about you. Bill Gates says that we need to reduce the population dramatically, right? The population growth is the biggest challenge for humanity. This is the worst thing that's happening in the world, is people having babies. And then he tells you, I'm going to save you. I'm going to save you. I love you, and I'm going to save you. All right, so that's what we're exploring today. We're talking about the World Economic Forum and the rollout of their brain-machine interfaces and implantable medical brain surveillance and brain modification devices. And guess what? This is super old technology. This is literally 60-year-old technology. Dr. Jose Delgado was doing experiments on monkeys, bulls, and people. Now, a lot of people don't realize this because this isn't very well publicized. He was also doing experimentation on people. All right, so I think we're going to do a whole stream, a whole separate talk on Dr. Jose Delgado. We're going to explore, maybe we'll just do a book review on his book, The Psycho-Civilized Society, I think it is called. Dr. Jose Delgado, this guy, complete psychopath, right? Essentially saw human beings as automatons. Human beings are just monkeys, basically. You're just something that needs to be controlled, dominated, and modified, right? And basically your behaviors are all things that can be controlled through electromagnetic stimulation, right? Through electrode devices, and also radio frequency. He did a lot of studies on that. And this isn't just some quack. Like, this guy was actually a Yale scientist, and through I forget which department it was at Yale, maybe in psychiatry. Dr. Jose Delgado was well funded by the U.S. government to do this research. So this dude is nuts. So yeah, it's this physical control of the mind towards a psycho-civilized society by Dr. Jose Delgado. So he was an MD. Jose M.R. Delgado, M.D. Toward a psycho-civilized society. World perspectives. And so that's his book from, I think it was published in 1970. We're going to get a little bit into that. We're actually going to talk about Jose Delgado a little bit today, just to tie in some of these ideas. Could implants treat people with brain disease? A young scientist explains. So this, sold to us, of course, there are possible benefits. Right? People have brain disease. Perhaps it can stimulate parts of the brain that have had blood flow cut off to them. Right? Well, what about if somebody has depression? Maybe we could help somebody that has depression. Right? And again, technology isn't inherently bad. Right? It's the intent behind these things and the possibility for use for these things for bad. Right? So a cell phone is not inherently bad. Now, cell phones are used as ubiquitous surveillance devices, as essentially there's so much more than that right now as well, right? Like they're not even just surveillance devices. They're distraction, right? They're entertainment devices that just become idols for distraction. Everybody's human interactions happening primarily through these electronic devices has been the goal, because that allows for further surveillance. Right? But it then also creates these like cybernetic feedback loops where your behavior can be influenced, even stimulated and influenced artificially. Right? Your behavior can be influenced and stimulated artificially through these social media networks that were developed. Right? Before they were even released, these ideas were developed and gamed to be used for essentially social engineering. Yeah, so it's not the technology that's bad, it's not the cell phone that's bad. But when you look at how it's used now, yes, you can use it to communicate with friends and families. I can use these technological devices to speak to you bigots out there right now. Right? But at the same time, they can become huge distractions. At the same time, these things can become devices that can be used to enslave you to your vices, right? Devices for enslavement to vices. Right? You can become enslaved to pornography. Right? You can become addicted to social media. Okay, so the fourth industrial revolution, we've got the World Economic Forum strategic intelligence map here for the fourth industrial revolution. And all these different things that it ties into. The Internet of Things, cyber security, entertainment and sports, media, reduced inequalities. Or what does that even mean? Reduced inequalities? I mean, in the social sense, what that really actually does mean to a lot of people who are using these devices, using these systems of social media, of smart city grids, as basically behaviorist control tools. When they talk about inequality, getting rid of inequality, they actually legitimately mean making you standardized. Standardized education, standardized testing and education. This is to create standardized humans with standardized thought processes, standardized responses to stimulus. Green light, go. Red light, stop. Don't forget your green pass. If you don't have your green pass up to date, you can't buy or sell. You can't go into the stores now. So these systems, these cybernetic systems, of course, the internet is not inherently bad, but these things can be used. These things can be used for control. These things have been used for control. But of course, it gets sold to us as, oh, look, the World Economic Forum says scientists can enhance your memory using brain implants. And they've been planning this out. We got a 2016 document, The Digital Future of Brain Health, from the World Economic Forum. Relatively short document. How many pages is this? Only about 15 pages. It's interesting, the progression of ideas here. Big data, machine learning, continuous monitoring, because that's what it's about. Implantable devices allow for continuous monitoring. Like Klaus Schwab said, we start out with the devices outside of our body, we move to them inside. We slowly move this to being inside of our bodies, and then they become even ubiquitous within our bodies, which is something, these are technologies that have been developed. Okay, so big data, right, the collection of data, the use of that data in order to quantify your behaviors, track and trace your behaviors, and then ultimately modify those behaviors, influence those behaviors. Machine learning being used to influence those behaviors at a mass scale, right? Integrating tons of data points, algorithms programmed, and they call it, machine learning. Look, the machine is learning. It's like human, bro. It's becoming conscious. This is not conscious. These are programmed algorithms, programmed by humans, programmed by people to perform certain tasks. Yeah, but they like deify this stuff. Machine learning. No, the machines are not learning. You created an algorithm that responds to stimulus. An advanced algorithm, multiple algorithms working in concert, still algorithms programmed by man, right? But the continuous monitoring chapter here in this document, continuous monitoring, very important. And after continuous monitoring, they go on to talk about mass adoption and consumerization, getting the consumer to adopt this. And that's what this stuff's about. Oh, it's going to enhance your memory. Oh, you're depressed? You're depressed? Oh, well, we've got a solution for you. If the psychotomimetric, psychotropic, and mind-numbing drugs we give you aren't working, right? If your Klonopin and your SSRIs are not properly sedating you and removing your actual feeling of what it is to be human enough, well, we're going to put a pacemaker in your brain, right? Oh, it's just like a pacemaker, guys. Look, you put a pacemaker in your heart to save your life. What are you, against technology? Why not a pacemaker in your brain? To make you happy, to make you behave well. Why not? Oh, why not? All right, so that's what we're talking about today. If you're watching on YouTube right now, last chance, last call, jump over to, we're throwing the link in here, jump over to Rockfin. The link for the Rockfin stream is right here. We're going deep on this. No censorship over on Rockfin. No algorithmic funny stuff. Jump over there to Rockfin. Thank you guys who are on YouTube. Go over there to Rockfin right now. We will see you guys over there. We'll just do a quick little intermission, maybe like a 1 minute intermission. Make sure that we're not streaming anymore on YouTube, and then we're going deep. See you guys over there. Jump over there. Pull open a tab. Use it on browser. Even if you're on like a mobile device, use the browser. Right? The browser seems to work a lot better than the app. Some people were having problems with the app recently. Use the browser, right? If you're on a, if you're on an Android, like a Google or Chrome. If you're on a Mac, use the Safari. Use the browser. It works really well over there. Actually, sometimes far better quality than YouTube, which is pretty cool. So jump over there. We'll see you guys over there. Thank you guys for the support, all you YouTube folks. Jump over there to Rockfin. If you haven't already made a free account, make a free account. We'll see you there.
Take